How do you manage all the pressure and overwhelm that comes along with it?
I think what my co-founders and I do is that we try to talk a lot to other co-founders who go through similar things and see how they're coping, what's helping them. It's a bit like infertility. If you go through infertility, you like to talk to other people who go through it because for other people it's difficult to relate. It's a bit the same with co-founders. We all have personal coaches. I think that's really important. We all have our sports and outdoors routine. We make sure to meet frequently and talk about things not talk about the company, not talk about the team, but really talk about private matters. We also try to do that with the team frequently, have lunches, have dinners, go out and just have a good time and be with each other as people and not as employees and colleagues. I mean, there is friction in every startup and among co-founders because, as you mentioned, there is a lot of pressure and a lot of uncertainty. A lot of times you don't know what your runway is, how the business plan is going to work out, if you're going to manage to raise the next round, and so forth. The thing that always strikes me is that I am, and my co-founders as well, we are so busy doing what we're doing that we don't really have the time to think about that too much and to wonder where are my paychecks coming from a year from now or whenever. You just keep on going and you got to be there for your team. I mean, I have to be there for my team. And that keeps me so busy. And that is something that motivates me so much that I don't really feel too pressured, to be honest.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that community part and the fact that you all have coaches. It's so important to talk about these things. And it might, I want to highlight that. I interview a lot of leaders, but it's very rare that I interview women leaders because women leaders are by proportion less. So what you're saying, and even in your tone of voice, I think there is a different perspective here than many men who are leaders, and they have that, it's a very different way of dealing with pressure. What I could listen in your voice was very humble, but also very grounded at the same time. And that is a strength. Like many times we see asking for help or building community as a weakness, especially for men, it can be difficult because as men, we have grown up hearing that we have to do it all alone or we have to solve every problem. But what you're saying, and given the responsibility you have taken on, so you are doing something meaningful. You have something which is challenging and you have to deal with uncertainty. But at the same time, you are very matter-of-factly stating the challenges as well as what you're doing to support yourself, to empower yourself on the way.
Yeah, thank you. And when it comes to coaches, the important thing is to not get a coach when everything is falling apart, but to get a coach way before it. And when you're doing well, I mean, having a startup and being in such a fast-paced environment means that you need to have a steep learning curve and that there's friction between you and your environment. And many people tell you, no, you can't do this. No, this can't be done. No, you're too early for this. No, you're not the right person. So you get many no's. And I think having a coach who helps you navigate all the different responses from your environment and the different expectations from customers and the expectations from your team and how you grow with that and how you struggle with that. It's really important to do that from the get-go, way before there are conflicts or struggles or things are falling apart. I see a coach rather as like a mirror on the wall, really, reflecting things and pushing back things to me and giving me things to think about and to question, not as somebody who's giving me the solutions.
Absolutely. Thank you for adding that pieces of wisdom. I think a lot of founders and leaders need to hear that. Thank you for sharing that.